Hey, what's up guys? Mike Moo here. This is a quick little comparison roundup between a super cheap alternative called the Smart Screen e-reading lamp that runs around $30 to $40, shipped direct from my link down below. And of course, my favorite right now, and still is, the BenQ Screen Bar Lite, which is portable, also a super portable, adjustable light that you can use for your laptops and on the go. We're going to take a look at some comparisons and see why this one costs 3 times as much as the Screen Bar Lite. This is a super cheap clone of the Screen Bar, not the Lite version, but of the Screen Bar, which is actually the big one that is often used on big screens. I use it on my giant monitor. This only costs about $30 some. Okay, this is $100 retail. Quality of this is remarkable. There's an app involved. This is designed for on-the-go move. It comes with its own little case. It's got everything going for it. Nothing really bad to say about it other than that when you compare something like the Screen Bar Lite by BenQ to something like this, you are paying an extra double as much practically. No, actually, sorry, triple the price to get something like this that is much more durable, has an app that allows you to control, has automatic control functions and automatic dimming sensors, better LED quality, overall better build versus something that is a clone, really cheaply made, so cheap that they can give you an 18-month warranty along with 84 cheap LEDs that obviously is not going to be at the same quality of the BenQ series, but at a price that is so affordable, it's almost like, why wouldn't you get one? All right, so I didn't use this a whole lot. I mean, I took it out, I took a look at it, and I thought to myself, well, I am not interested in something like this because I actually make use of all the functions that are available on the BenQ series, the regular Screen Bar, not the Lite. This one, of course, I keep to use when I'm traveling. This one is more for a more semi-permanent to permanent installation. The mounting mechanism is not that great. It's passable. And yes, there's a little bit of a weight on here. There's a little sticky gel thing that can help attach it and hold it to certain places. This is very flimsy. I found that when I tried to install it on my monitor, it wasn't holding as well as it should. And, you know, typically after you get it mounted perfectly though, it's not a problem. You typically don't need to adjust it when you have it permanently mounted. But if you plan on using this like on a laptop, for instance, this isn't going to be a great solution because of how big and bulbous it is. Plus the additional weight that's going on and the adjustability is simply not quite there like it is on the BenQ. And let's take a closer look at the unit. They really went as cheap as possible for most of this. Okay. So granted, there are the dual color LEDs in there. There's about a total supposedly of 84 of them. I actually didn't count whether or not there are actually 84, but I see that there's actually some marks and numbers on there. And this casing is aluminum, which is really nice. This is probably the breaking point. So this is not something you're going to be traveling around or unplugging a lot. One false move of moving things, and this will probably just break. The cable will probably break. It'll be your fault. I don't know if it'll be covered under warranty or not, even though you have an 18-month warranty. And then you have some basic functionality of the remote controller. This is about as cheap as it gets, really. So there's a power button. There's the adjusting the brightness and the darkness and adjusting the color temperature on here. Little user guide that tells you how things are going. The brightness, adjusting color temperature, all that stuff. And it is actually 4 watts, let's see, power source, 4 watts for single CCT, 5 watts for 2 CCT. Not sure exactly what that is. But this is using SMD 3014 LEDs. They're supposed to last for 40,000 hours. I highly doubt that that there's going to be any major serious testing on all these. But it is 60 centimeters wide. It's good enough for most desktop computer monitors, and I suppose most laptops too, because most laptops typically don't get really large in size. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and plug you in, show you a little bit about the light, how it's working. All right, so I got my Samsung. I dimmed the room a little bit, and this guy just kind of fits over in the back. See, there's a little lip thing here that slides out, so that just grabs on top of the monitor. And that seems to hold okay. Next, we have the actual unit itself, which you would then, let's see, you would then do the cable line upwards. By the way, I darkened the room a little bit, so if you see a little bit of grain, that's because I darkened the room and the sensor's trying to keep up. Okay, so I have this plugged in right here, and you know, there's no area for this cable to lie out, and I don't want it to run down across the screen, so it's kind of facing upward. And you know, it's a little bit off kilter. The whole thing is just kind of flopping around a little bit. And then this will just plug it directly into the USB port. So this will take about, well, it says 5 watts, so it's definitely not going to get as bright as the other unit. I'm talking about the BenQ, but it'll work. So you see, you power it on, and the light quality is there. It looks pretty good. Now, if you want to adjust it, though, look at this whole thing here. The whole thing kind of flips. It's I suppose once you have it adjusted, you're okay. There's a couple of settings that it has, but I can't get it just exactly right. So if you want to dial it down to exactly where, let's just say I don't want any of the keys over here lit up. Let's see. So that's one setting, right? Let's say I want it really minute so that it cuts it like right over here. There's only a few adjustments you can do. So that's the second setting. And then that's the third setting. So you can't get it just right because there are these detents that only allow for a certain level of adjustment. So if you need that minute adjustment detail to get it just right, you're going to have to kind of jury rig something of your own. And I guess that's where some of the much better mounting mechanism of the BenQ light that reigns supreme on this and makes that kind of worth it almost on its own. Okay, so let's presume I have everything all adjusted now. It's still a little bit finicky, wobbly, so it's not advised using a laptop, but you keep it on a desktop, you got everything perfectly adjusted, you're okay. Here's the different brightness settings. That's pretty bright. It's about as bright as I need to for a desktop type of computer, and this is about as dim as it gets, which is pretty dim. It's not super duper dim, like it doesn't get dimmer than the BenQ version does, but it's fine. And then here's the color temperature. There's only a couple of color temperatures you can choose from. Okay, so this is the warmest, this is the coolest, middle, and that's it. There's only those few settings on here, so you know, you definitely do not get the color temperature variety that you can and the minute way to configure the lights just the way that you can with the BenQ. So that's kind of something else that you're giving up as well. Another important thing to note is it's nice that this is actually lit up. So if you can't find the remote control, it'll be lit up in a dark room. As I said, I'm in a dim room somewhat right now for the example. So you can see that this, you can kind of see the remote. And there's no option to turn that on or off, but it looks like it's going to be working fine. All right, just for comparison's sake, I have both the BenQ Screen Bar Lite, which is designed for a laptop, and then this cheaper alternative, which I always forget the name of, which I'll link down below. They're both set on maximum brightness. Now, I can immediately tell that the BenQ Screen Bar Lite is brighter, but it does consume up to 10 watts at maximum brightness. And you know, you got these little touch controls up here, and you can also control it from the app on the computer for this version. Okay, so that's the maximum brightness, and here's a comparison. So I'm going to turn this off, on, off, right? And then I'm going to turn this one on and off, just through the button over there, right there. And I'm seeing the quality of the light when I do the transition. Okay, so I'm going to switch up the mounting to see the quality of the light over here. So this is moving it out this way. You got a couple of settings here. 1, 2, basically 2. 1, well, actually 3. 3. I don't know why you would want it. I suppose you can point this straight up. That's something that the BenQ one does not allow in a mounting mechanism. But really, when you're using it, you really only have 2 settings, at least in this case scenario, that'd be useful. So as you can see, the quality of the light as it moves. Now, just seeing this alone, I only have 1 setting that doesn't add light or glare to the screen. So really there's only 1 setting, at least I'm able to find that 1 single setting. Turn that off, go back to the BenQ screen bar light, and I can see that this mounting mechanism allows me to adjust infinitely between these angles, so to infinite degree to get it just right. Now, if you look at the quality of the light as well, it has a much broader beam that is usable, at least to me. So that's another thing that you're paying for as well. You get a broader beam and you have infinite adjustability between those different angles that are useful. However, it doesn't point straight up. So if that's something that you just kind of want room lighting, this doesn't provide that. Now the color temperature settings, of course, let's take a look at that. I just press the color temperature button over here and I can adjust a lot of different settings on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think there's about 10 different settings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I could be wrong. Okay, maybe more than that. Feels like there's definitely more different color temperature settings, and all that's doing is just mixing the different LEDs on or off, as you can see over here. And then as you can see over here. Definitely a much more involved reflecting system here, prism, than what we have over here, which is a lot simpler as well. So there is a difference in terms of the quality of the light and the broad range that it's able to expand to. This is much wider than what you have going on over here. So those are, yet again, some other differences. Okay. So in conclusion, for $30, as long as you can find something that seems to fit out well, okay, you don't mind the little bit of jiggly wobbliness of the installation in certain cases, okay? Obviously, you got a bigger screen with which is a lot thicker. It'll probably hold a little bit better. Plus, note that I did not use these sticky pads. I've used the sticky pad. That'll probably help as well. It's semi-permanent, similar to the type that they use for car mounts. And if you can get this adjusted just right, you're okay with the color sensors, not the color sensor, the color temperatures that they provide, which is just a handful of them, then this will work out just for you and you'll save some money. But for me personally, I'm definitely going for the BenQ whole unit. And I purchased a screen bar myself. This is, of course, a screen bar light example that I actually use for laptops. And of course, this costs roughly 3 times as much as this solution. All right, now if you're interested in getting one of these, again, I'll have a link down below. Please use that link. That helps to support my channel and that I can create more videos such as this to teach you about what I know about tech. And for more reviews, etc., please subscribe and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.